Welcome to Living the Dream Iowa Life. I'm your host, Hannah Nuss, and each weekday we'll share enthusiasm for what's possible and dive into the stories of Iowans living their dream lives right here in the heartland. Whether you're chasing a big goal or just looking for a little inspiration, we've got you covered. Let's change the world together. This is Living the Dream Iowa Life. Let's go. Heyo, welcome to Living the Dream Iowa Life podcast. I'm your host, Hannah Nuss, and yes, I have to correct that in the show notes every single time. Come on, people, get it right. Most of the time it says Hannah, H-A-N-N-A-H, with an H on the end. Come on. But sometimes it says like Anita, sometimes it just says crazy things, which means I'm not doing this right. I should be pronunciating all of my words so you can properly hear me as a podcast host. Okay, boring. I don't know. I'm just going to talk to you like we would be talking at a coffee shop. Like we just went and grabbed coffee or carrot cake or I don't know. I don't know what we're grabbing, but if I were pronunciating like a news anchor when we're talking, it would be super weird, right? Because we're just grabbing coffee and it's weird, but it's not that weird. So, it would be weird if I was doing that. So I'm not a professional podcaster. I guess I am because I've been doing it for almost 7 years, but I don't know. I just like my show to be personal and real, and how I'm talking to you is how I am literally talking to myself in my head. So I'm grateful to be out of my head and having this conversation with you in your car, in your cubicle, in your wherever you are. I don't know what you're doing, but I'm grateful to be here on your run, on your meditation. I don't know, whatever. However you incorporate me, I'm happy to be here. Imagine you and I just having coffee, just hanging out and having this conversation. So, on that note, I was on a plane, and they always do the mask, right, presentation. Like, don't put on the other people's mask before you put on your own. And I think if we were in an emergent situation, without doubt, no matter how much instruction you gave me, I would certainly pass out putting on my child's air mask. And I know I should put on myself first. But if I am sitting next to my child and they are freaking out and they cannot grasp their breath, I'm putting theirs on first. Sorry. And I know I'm supposed to care for myself first, but I think any mother out there would feel the same. And you can do the instructions, you can show all the things on the plane a million times, but if it came down to it, I'm going to do it wrong probably every time. And so I've been thinking about that, about self-care and the importance of that, and the boundaries that we have to set with that self-care and the realities of that. And here's mine. If someone comes to cuddle, all work aside, it's gone. It does not exist. I don't know what to tell you. If I have a million things to do, cuddling wins. It wins every time. It's just going to win. I'm going to set the computer down and I'm going to give you that moment, because if we are waking up with cuddles, does anything go wrong in a day? No. Can't. Cuddles are the way of the world. They are the way to start the day. And so I thought about that. Like, maybe I need to put better structure. And for me, really, most of my work that I do kind of before the world wakes up has to be done. It has to be done. And I've been kind of just dilly-dallying through my work morning, kind of not being super structured with it, not creating boundaries and time stamps for where it all needs to happen, just kind of letting it happen. If I want to read for an hour, then maybe I'll work out, maybe I won't. Like, okay, that can't happen. We know what it takes for you to be at your best self. I'm saying that to myself. Self, we know what it takes for you to get there. So you either need to be willing to kind of set kiddos and cuddles aside until you get your morning done, or move it up. Let's start waking up earlier, and let's be super strict. If we're reading for a half an hour, we're reading for a half an hour, whether we get through a chapter or not. What? And I would sit here and go, you cannot do that. That is madness. No, we can't. What? We can't end before the chapter's done. That's not done. We have bookmarks. So we can just end a book wherever we are. Now, I like to end at the bottom of a page so that I know what I'm bookmarking. Like I start at the beginning of the next page. Fine. But I would be like, oh, we got to get through this chapter. I can't just stop the book here. How will I ever know where I'm at if I'm not at the beginning of a chapter? This is madness. Like, just bookmarks, pretty much. So if we're reading for a half an hour, we're reading for a half an hour. That does not continue on. It stops there. If we're journaling for a half an hour, then we're journaling for a half an hour. It stops there. And, right, let's keep repeating this cycle. Let's figure out what this needs to look like. And let's make sure that we can get that work done before everybody wakes up. Because I know it's game over. I know that if I am home and I am able to, I know that I want to cook for you. I know that I want to have conversations with you. I know that I want to cuddle. If we can just cuddle, that would be everything. But I definitely want to be present in that moment. And so the computer closes, the phone stays in the windowsill. And I'm kind of just doing that. And that has to happen in order for me to be able to care for these people. And I've been kind of running in that scarce environment of self-care of like, well, I will take care of everyone else. I will put on all of their masks. And maybe I will have one last breath of air so that I can put on my own. Maybe, but probably not. And, related to what we talked about in my last episode, like care and self-care and self-love, and not just like I have super expensive face cream and so I self-love myself the most. Like real self-love where you are doing the things that you know you need to do for your body, for your brain, right? For your body, mind, and soul. And yes, washing your face is important and taking a shower is an important part of that. But I think sometimes we try to buy ourselves out of doing the actual work, and the actual work is, right, proper fuel for our bodies, proper care and maintenance of our bodies, proper work and challenge of our bodies. And we can certainly buy our way around that. We need expensive face creams because we need to look a certain way. Someone said that we needed this face cream, so we need to buy it so that people know that we know what people know, and they know that we're knowing. And when they know that we're knowing, that they know that we have the face cream that we knew to know to buy, then that feels good. We feel important. We feel kind of loved from an attention standpoint. And then we have to have the conversation of whether or not that attention is superficial. And I would say that is superficial. If someone is only willing to give you love and attention because you've accomplished something or purchased something, like, yeah, that's conditional, right? Like, we are deserving of love and attention regardless. And we are deserving of love, attention, and cuddles because we just woke up. And we're so grateful that we all woke up today. And we are going to cuddle and talk about that and talk about how you slept and do that when we have that time. And the only way to have that time is really to create space so you can give that time. I can't properly care for anyone in my home if I'm not caring for myself in the way that I need to. And, that can look like all kinds of different things for every single person. For me, that is reading. For me, that is journaling, writing. For me, that is moving my body. That is daily yoga and breath work. That is me doing this. This is another journal where I'm having a conversation about the expansion. And really, this is just a conversation between you and I. Okay, well, if we're going down you can't put on someone else's mask before you put on your own kind of theory, then, friend, what are you doing to care for yourself every day? Not like this martyr figure where you're like, oh, I finally survived 7 months of sheer madness, and so I booked myself a 15-minute massage. I love myself so much. Or like someone gifts it to you and you're like, I care about myself so much. I got a one massage for 10 minutes. Okay. This is about the discipline of care, the discipline of love, self-love. What are you doing that expresses that you care about yourself? What are you doing? Is it the 12th energy drink that you've drank today? Is that really caring for yourself? Or would being properly rested be a better alternative? Right. And like, I'm posing this question not to get into this guilt trip of like, well, where am I supposed to find the time for that? Everyone wants everything from me. I am drained and sucked dry. I totally get it. Been there. Grew up in that scarce environment, moved into adulthood in that scarce environment, did a lot of healing and work to even believe that I deserved an intentional practice of love and care because I had never had that example. And my parents did such a great job raising all of us. I still don't know how they did it. I don't. And we are all really amazing. And so I don't know how they did it. And I feel still kind of terrible that they had to do it in the way that they did, because I think it came at a severe loss of what could have been a really great life for them. But I keep going back to like, what are you doing every day for yourself? And I had to pose that question to myself. Definitely on this trip, I was asking those questions because before I left, I had had a meeting with one of the books that we're working on. And she was like, how's your book coming along? I'm like, well, I think if I can just get through and get your 2 books done, then I'll be able to kind of focus on my own and hopefully that'll kind of bring me back. It'll bring me back to my own work. And she's like, well, I feel terrible. because our work should not come in front of your work. And I'm like, honestly, it's just a really great excuse for me to avoid my own work. I know what I need to do. I know that I can get it done. I know that I have enough discipline to get it done. I am avoiding it. And I am using all of you as a scapegoat. And we do that, especially when it comes to self-care, because it's so easy to dismiss, so easy to ignore, and then so easy to live and stay in a scarce environment because having accountability that you're not taking care of yourself properly is not your favorite mirror that you're going to put in front of yourself. Because what's going to come up is the fact that you have probably been luring that as a martyr over everyone's head. And maybe you aren't, and maybe you're way better than me, and like, great for you, because everyone should be. But like, here I am in adulthood, really feeling resentful of pretty much everyone. Like, what? You get to do that? Not cool. I don't get to do that. I wish I had time to do that. I'm so blah 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 blah. I'm so do. I'm so busy. I could never have time to do any of that. And then it really is that reflection of like, why are you busy? And how are you intentionally creating space for yourself? And what does that need to look like? And I am the most overly dramatic, crazy person. So my self-care literally is like a 3-hour process. And if I don't give myself that, and it might be like a later process as well. And that's if you're not including me taking care of myself by feeding myself. Like, I am spending a lot of time each day now after this trip because, on the trip, I'm just like, these are all just excuses. Oh, kids woke up, had to cuddle them. Oh, they came into our bed, had to sleep in. Like, okay, but you are still going to be pouring from an empty cup. You will still be taking your last breath to ensure that they have breaths after this. And like, is that better? Is that better? Is it better to have a caregiver who is scarce and unloved, untaken care of, so you can breathe fully? Or is it better to have a caregiver who takes great care of themselves so they can have capacity to take great care of you, and not this resentful mindset around that care? And I think that is kind of the exchange a lot of times in these scarce environments. Like, well, I'll make you dinner, but then I gotta do your dishes, and I gotta do your laundry, and I gotta take care of you. And it's like, okay, but let's flip that. What a blessing to have someone to take care of. And I know I am just being just super optimistic, and you might be rolling your eyes and like, yeah, I know. But like, really, what a gift. And when my kids said they'd rather eat at home, I'm like, man, the food I prepare is usually terrible. Not because I'm a bad cook, because I'm a bad follower. Like, I don't want to do the instructions. I certainly don't. And I want to make something different every single time. So fun. And instructions, meh. Here, there, anywhere. We just got to get it kind of close. Well, no, you need to get it pretty exact, is what I find. And so the food's not better, but the care is, the love is. There's a difference between paying someone to care for you and to take care of you, and having someone take care of you that actually knows who you are and knows how to love you and care for you and they're going to be there again, regardless. It is not conditional, right? Whereas paying someone for your self-care needs really is conditional, or paying for X, Y, and Z to make sure that your care needs are met is conditional. What if you don't have money to do all of that? How could you do that self-care routine for free? How could you do that? And I think it's that conditional love exchange. And the conditional love exchange does not feel better. It's not deep. It's not true. It's not real. And so, yes, my friends, we must put our mask on first. I know it's terrible. I don't even like saying it. I don't like kind of giving into that mentality, but it is the best way to explain this. We have to have discipline with our self-care because it creates real care, a depth of care, an understanding of the person that it is that we are caring for, and how do we do that, and what does that look like. And I do like the relief of like being able to hire that care out once in a while, but how are you doing it every day? And eventually, sure, you can hire it out, but what if you never figured out what it needed to be in the first place? And that's where real care, non-martyred care, comes from. Like the understanding of who this human is and the understanding of what care and holding looks like. And that's the value of deep relationships. We can understand how to hold someone, how to care for them, how to be there for them. And then we can kind of make good on that. And typically that doesn't look like a hired out existence. It's real. It's a person that's there. It's their face. It's their mood. It's their energy in your stratosphere. And we can't really show up like that for people unless we're showing up like that for ourselves first. And so my focus has been getting back into that. And I do feel exhausted, but energized at the same time. And so here we are. Here we go. Really, what does care, being cared for, look like to you? That's the question today. That's what we're kind of stuck on. And how do you do that for yourself is today's question, right? If yesterday was what does being taken care of look like, feel like, then today's question is how do you do that for yourself? Because even expecting someone else to care for you, to take care of you, is conditional, right? Because that's assuming those people are always going to be there. What if it is just you? How do you show up and care for yourself? As always, you're smart, you're strong, you're beautiful. What are you going to do? Change the world.